Greetings and salutations. I have a very interesting Amazon find here. So this is a Nintendo DS Super Combo Pokemon Mario 208 in 1 128 gig multi-cart. And as you've probably already guessed, no, this is not official anyway whatsoever. So this seller, they have about 4 or 5 of these. They go from 208 to 500, and I picked this one because it's mostly RPGs and they're good. I like the RPGs. If you can read the back, you are heroic, but it lists some of the. Looks like it lists about the first 80 games. So yeah, good luck if you can read that font. I can't even read what's on the top, and I'm looking at it. And we got a few things like Professor Layton and Cooking Mama and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, you look at it, looks like it's got some pretty good games. You've got Phoenix Wright, Okami, Ninja Turtles. On the front, you can see they've got the clutch games on the front, like the Pokemon. This has every Pokemon game. Oh, it's got Golden Sun, Castlevania. So yeah, really excited for Spirit Tracks. So let's see what we get, shall we? We get a hard to open case is what we get. And the card just shot off into the floor because you will notice the card comes loose, but it comes in its own case. The card does fit in here, and for some reason there's a slot for a Game Boy Advance game. I think this is a copy of a Game Boy Advance actual case. I forgot how thick they are. And Game Boy, or no, Nintendo DS. The Nintendo DS has where you have a DS game and a Game Boy Advance for some reason. I don't know why. So let's open this up and see what we got. This is also hard to open, but it's nice. It's nice that it has its own little shell. This is actually really good because it protects it in shipping. Whoever the seller is, they're genius. So this is the cartridge itself. You can see there's a lot going on there. If we turn it around, you can see there is a micro SD card. And yes, it is a SanDisk. It's a 16 gig. So nothing too crazy. 16 gig card. So that's not bad. So what the heck is it? Let's fire it up and I'll explain a little bit because I've been doing some research. Some of you might already guessed, but I have little happy eggs all over my DS here, or my 3DS. I have turned down the 3D so it's not, you can actually see it. Oh, there's my face, my beard. That's cool. That's what you like to see in a video. All right, so it reads as a SpongeBob cartridge. It appears that most of these do. So if we click, there's my face again. Holy smokes. It loads into a menu. So what does that look like? Yes, this is an Ace 3DS card. For those who don't know what an Ace 3DS card is, it's one of the budget clones of the R4 card. It's basically a card that lets you play like homebrew emulated games. Ace 3DS is exactly what this is. So this is what it came with on it. As you can see, you can play Neo Geo, Atari. So what they did on this is they took an Ace card and they stripped out the other emulators. So even though it's got the folders for like Moonshell and like PC Engine and Super Famicom and Game Boy, you couldn't actually play them because they took the software off. But me, dear friends, I've added it back. Anyway, before I get to that, let's go on to the actual games and see how this works. Now, this is a 3DS that is pretty up to date. So we get options here. I think before I modded this, I didn't get options. It just went straight into it. It's interesting. It looks for a slot 2 card, but this, of course, is not. That slot 2 is for Game Boy Advance. But anyway, you can see I've added some folders. Normally, it would go right into the 208 one. And it's got some decent games on it. There are other ones. The ones with more games are loosey-goosey on quality of games. But this one, you can see it's, I mean, we got all the Pokemon games, all the Mario games, Yoshi, Tetris. So let's go into Tetris here. And this, being an ace card, a stripped down ace card, this is good for people who don't fiddle with homebrew and stuff. So you can just go straight into. So yeah, it boots fine. So that's pretty wonderful. So if we go to home and hit OK. So this was a stripped down ace card. It is not stripped down anymore. I added all the software back. So let's see how that works. Now, caveat here, it is cheaper to get an ace card. Usually. It depends on how available it is. If you can find an ace card cheaper, these ran about 30 bucks on Amazon. So yeah, the big selling point here is if you don't know how to fiddle with stuff like this, you're good getting this. So if I go here to Game Boy, oh, this is only, I've got Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, but this is only Game Boy. So let's go into Mario Picross. And ooh, it didn't like that. Oh, but it did play it. There we go. Look at that. And it's even doing Game Boy Color. This is, I think it's the emulator. The emulator's a little let's do easy Picross just to see what the quality is here. Sure, we'll do with hand. I don't know, I can't remember how Picross works. It's probably a boat or something. Anyway, yeah, so it works pretty well. And you can just hit home on the 3DS. So there you go. It's pretty worth it. I mean, sort of worth it. It's worth it if you don't want to fiddle with loading your own software onto a homebrew cartridge. I can kind of recommend it. It's cheaper to get an ace card, but it's a nice little oddity, and you get the most striking box art on the face of the planet. So there you go. That is the 200. There it is. There's a 208 in one multi cartridge. So enjoy that. It's an oddity. It kind of blows my mind you can still get these multi carts in this day and age, but you know, modding's always going to happen. It's kind of great. On a side note, I did notice that they do have ones for Game Boy Advance for about the same price that are Game Boy Advance cartridges, and I assume it's the same thing. It's one of the proprietary cartridges that have been rebranded. So there you go. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great day, and I will catch you on the flip side.